Hello everybody, my name is Pyrac, and in today's video I figured I'd finally make a augmenting guide video because I realized I never made one. This will probably help out a huge chunk of new people that are coming into the game, with it being 75% off as of the time of this video until the end of the month. But let's get right into it. Of course, this is just the build. I threw on probably one you might end up using, which is just a Berserk set. They are heavily renowned as some of the best sets in the game at the moment, which is basically Berserk 2, Strife, and Male Hellfire. The full Chaotic Gore Megala set, as you can see, make a Berserk set. So we're going to go add on to this with the augmenting system. Now obviously there's a few options here. What do each of them do? Essentially, augmenting is to add on to one of your pieces. It is to add skills, not necessarily remove skills or heavily improve your build. It is just there to add one skill generally. You could go for 2 skills as well with skills plus, but it's extremely unlikely to get 2 skills that you want. So we're going to go over the basics right here. The way that I essentially like to do it is I go through, and if I find a skill that I like on an item, I'll actually swap for it. For example, this insane one, I was doing regular augmenting, I lost one element exploit, which is about 10% damage to be honest, but I gained 2 really high priority skills with Male Hellfire and Frenzied Bloodlust. I could also lose 1 critical element in my build to regain that 10% damage. As you can see down here, it's 10%. Losing one of this would be 5%. So I still gain 5% damage, plus the Male Hellfire, plus the Frenzied Bloodlust. So this is fantastic. And then we go on to the next piece. Also, this is unmodded. I know there's mods to increase the chance of getting good skills. That was just incredibly lucky. Here we go. Here's a good example. Powder Mantle. Powder Mantle is fantastic on literally every single build in the game. It'll add roughly 5% extra damage to any build, just having it in your build. So this is fantastic. As you can see, I don't have any Powder Mantle on here. So it is a huge pickup to just grab that and move on. Now, you can see with this piece here, it has Bloodlust. Since I want to make a no health drain variation of Berserk, I want to go with Skills Plus or Slots Plus to remove that Bloodlust so I can lose some extra health drain, making my build a lot more consistent. And as you can see, this has only got 1 slot in it, so I could go for Slots Plus or Skills Plus. Now, Skills Plus works a little bit different to the regular augmenting in the sense that this will prioritize higher tier skills. As you can see down the bottom there, it actually says it as well. It triggers superior skills more easily, so you're more likely to get like Male Hellfire, Strife, Dragon Conversion, things like that. Except it will take one of your skills on your armor piece away, or multiple skills on your armor piece away, in place for that. But again, since I don't want Bloodlust on this build, I'm actually going to go and try and get this. Oh, there's another high priority skill, build up boost as well. But we don't want to lose Berserk, and we don't need build up boost on this set in particular. We could also lose resentment, so if we lose extra levels of resentment, we would be completely fine, since dual blades do not care that much about raw. Oh, beautiful. There's a huge pickup actually. We lose 1 resentment, gain Male Hellfire. Unfortunately, we didn't lose the Bloodlust, but maybe I can try again for that later. Also, if you're curious what skills you can get, you can press R3, or at the bottom right there, it should tell you. And these are all the possible skills that you can get from augmenting. Anything that's not in these lists, you cannot get from augmenting, so there's no need to try and get them. For example, Berserk itself, you can't get as an augment. Alright, we've got 2 Male Hellfire on here now, so we only need 1 more Male Hellfire. We've got a Powder Mantle, we got Frenzied Bloodlust. We got some really good skills on here already, and it's only been about 6 minutes. So this piece here, I'm fine with all those skills, so we're going to do the regular augmenting. I meant to mention it earlier on, but we got some insanely lucky things. You can also try and augment for some of the skills that you've got as decorations. You can check which ones are decorations from the green numbers here. So pretty much any of these green ones here I can get as an augment, and I will actually choose that because then I can replace that decoration slot with something else to essentially gain a skill the same way that I was gaining skills before. Or, when things like this pop up, for example, Handicraft is useful to any melee build as long as you can gain sharpness, so I'm actually going to take that for now, and we'll move on to the next piece. Alright, we've got the Nephilim Greaves. These have Bloodlust on them as well, so we can do Skills Plus or Slots Plus. Also, if you're wondering when you unlock the other variations of augmenting here, unfortunately, I don't remember off the top of my head because I had all of these things unlocked as I played through the game. They basically released as I was playing. So I'm not sure when you unlock these. I imagine they're all tied into the anomaly level. So if you level up your anomaly stuff, some of these should start popping up. But I believe you only start with the first one. So this one here, which pretty much just gives you a skill. It's still really good, but it's got a lower chance to give you good skills like these two here. Also, I'm not really talking about stability. It basically just increases your defense and your other resistances by a small amount, but it can't change any skills. So it's kind of useless in the end game of this game because defense doesn't really matter all that much. But we're going to keep trying to remove this bloodlust. Oh, as I mentioned earlier on, we can use some of these things to get skills that we would have as decorations. So this one we gain a crit element, which means we can take a crit element out of here and put it into element exploit, for example. Or since we got rid of element exploit earlier, we can now just swap to an element exploit on one of these decorations. So we're actually going to take that for now. The third level of coalescence isn't much for comparison. So for example, here we lose 3 attack, 1 element, and 5% status buildup, and we gain 10% element from element exploit. So it's a huge trade-off. And we get an extra 1 slot too. But we're going to keep going because we want to try and remove that bloodlust. As you can see, you can remove bloodlust. It's quite useful to do. You can also see you can get frostcraft as well. Pretty much any of these high priority skills or like really strong skills you can get through augmenting on skills plus. A lot easier. You can get it on the regular one still, but it's a much higher chance on skills plus. Same with dragon conversion here. Well, here's a good one as well. If we can't get rid of bloodlust here, we can actually get the blood ride skill as an extra as well. Blood ride will make it so when we break a part and we keep hitting it, we'll actually heal by hitting that part. So it helps to offset the bloodlust health drain. So that's actually pretty good to have. Oh, there we go. We've gotten rid of our bloodlust. I'm going to get rid of it. And we're going to go back to the other piece that also had bloodlust and see if we can get rid of it from that piece as well. So we have no health drain in our build. Oh, perfect. There we go. So yeah, as I mentioned earlier on, we can lose one of our critical elements for an element exploit instead. That way we just gained 5% elemental damage. Right, and now a quick test. This is exactly the same build that we just finished making. It took about 14 minutes. I think I got really lucky with some of these augmenting. For example, the Frenzy Bloodlust here I can't even use now because I don't have Bloodlust on this build. But let's see where we ended off. We've got 385 raw, 204 element. We've got no health drain as you can see because we got rid of all of our Bloodlust. We've got infinite stamina thanks to Strife 3, which is inbuilt into the set. As you can see, these aren't decorations or augments. You all saw the augmenting. It's a perfect starter build. And it's still going to be quite strong as you can see. It's a very, very solid start. Keep in mind, I've also augmented my weapons. There's no reason for me to go re-augment them. But yeah, this is how you can roughly get started with augmenting if you're new to Monster Hunter Rise or Sunbreak. I hope you all enjoy the game. It is fantastic. It's a lot of fun. Yeah, crispy starter build. 352 without any talisman or anything. So you can make this with literally any like kind of RNG. You can also get much better things. Obviously, I could lose Bloodlust to gain another Mail of Hellfire. I think we're missing 2. No, we're missing 1 Mail of Hellfire, so this is almost a perfect set. If I could lose the Bloodlust here and gain Mail of Hellfire, this would be a pretty strong set without a talisman. I could also gain Wind Mantle here, which would be very, very useful. Well, everybody, that was a very quick video, just quickly going over how you can use augmenting to your advantage, and that it's not that daunting to use. You basically use it to gain things onto your current build. Later on, you can super hyper optimize it, but as you can see, it's really not needed. The difference will be maybe 5 to 8% on this compared to a hyper optimized set, so you really don't have to go that in depth with it. But as I mentioned earlier, I hope a lot of y'all that are getting into the game, with it being on sale recently, enjoy the game heavily. It's fantastic. As always, thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you on the next one.